So these are, I mean, with your permission, and okay, and then was there any question about my work ethic? Did you hear anybody complain or say anything about my work ethic there?
No.
Okay. And then let's go to the day I was kicked out. Now, the day I was kicked out, I made it clear that, I needed more than an hour to leave the property because I had stuff in the washer and in the dryer. I had stuff in the pantry, in the refrigerator. I had a boatload of belongings that I had to pack up. And I was told that they would give me money to go to the laundromat. But the fact is, my stuff was in the washer and in the dryer. I didn't need a laundromat. Go ahead.
Yes, I remember. I worked on cleaning and drying items for you in the laundry area. And then what happened after I had them in there and I was working on them, I went to the South 40 to pray by myself. And when I came back, that's when you were being kicked out. So I missed a lot of what happened that day, as far as what's his face? And offering you money to leave quietly and all that stuff. I wasn't in on that because I was praying somewhere else. But when I came back, when I came back to the laundry area, I saw that you were being kicked out, and I had to talk to you because I had to make sure that I had given you everything that I had washed for you. I wasn't sure. Was kind of
yeah, I know. I don't know if you're ready to tell the story yet. I just want your permission to record this. I don't want to get into too much detail. I just want, because I know you don't want to be involved.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you understand my answers before I say it.
Okay.
So that you might have to tailor your question so that I don't give such a long answer.
Okay. And so, the next question I would ask is, was I causing, so when I went back down to the cabin to pack my belongings, was I causing a commotion and bringing other people into it?
I didn't know because I was praying at the time. I came back when there was a commotion.
Okay, but what commotion was that?
That was Steve and Roger making funny sounds.
I know, but so the question is, was I making a commotion?
No. They were making a commotion.
Okay. And then the next question would be, and how was my...
You were laughing.
Thank you.
That was fun. I was laughing but confused because I didn't know what was going on.
Because I'm looking over at Steve and Roger going, what in the world are they doing? They were trying to engage me so that they could have a reason to kick me off because they had already...
But I didn't understand what was going on because I came back and there was a commotion. And the commotion was Steve and Roger was his friend, right?
Right.
Roger?
Yeah, that was his buddy.
Yeah, Steve and Roger. And they were making funny noises, like acting really silly.
Right.
And you were laughing, and it was funny to me, so I kind of smiled, but I was confused because I didn't know that you were being kicked out. I just know that there were like a lot of people around, and the longer I stood there, the longer I started to realize what was going on.
Okay, so the next question would be...
They told me not to talk to you. And I said, but I have to because I've been watching her things and I want to make sure I give them to her.
Yeah, that was one of the concerns because he's telling me, and so they had already called the sheriff, and Theo has documentation from the emails from Ernie because they were saying that, I was asking too many questions about the anti-government campaign and I was being too verbal in the meetings and
I don't know. Like I said, all I know is when I came back, you were being kicked out. I was a little confused because I didn't know.
Okay, so and then what did I pack my?
So I knew I had to get my stuff to you if I had any. I wasn't really sure. And I said I have to talk to her and make sure I gave her whatever.
Right.
And I don't even remember if I had to give it to you or if you already had it.
No, you brought it to me. You brought me
time for me.
You brought me the dry clothes, and then you brought me the wet clothes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
What was that question about earning land? That you were saying too many things against the anti-government stuff that you was. I don't know.
No, that's all right. No. We already fast forward that question. Okay, so the next question.
About you.
Can you hear me, Nydia?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello, are you still there?
Yeah, but
I can't hear you.
Okay, I'll call you back.
Let me call you back.
Okay, there you have it, folks. So Nydia has given me permission. We were going to keep this brief, but Nydia, she likes to get into detail and stuff, so I guess she's going to call me back. Something's happening with the phone. Anyways, I'm going to put a better video together to show you the lies of Kent Hovind and Mary Tocoo, who obviously wanted to character assassinate me because I am not the one that was going after any money. I was not the one that was in need of anything, and I was in a total position to speak up to Colt Hovind against his anti-government campaign because my great aunt lived 20 minutes away and I had my own vehicle. It had a full tank of gas. So they're saying that I had nowhere to go, no money. Oh, great. I just lost her. Are you serious? Hello?
So
I think that's your phone. I think that's your phone because I called you last night from the landline and it did the same thing.
Yeah, I know. Okay. But T-Mobile, which is my new carrier, is not good with
well, let's not give out too much private information.
About earning land because I never heard anything from
No. I'm not asking about earning land. Let's move forward, okay? So the next question is, you were there when Kent said nobody was allowed to talk to me.
Yes,
and that's when
I came back from praying to the laundry area, and everybody was standing around you by the hen house, and I heard the words that you had to move, that you had to pack, and then I heard the two guys making fun and making stupid noises, and it was funny, and you were laughing. And,
but I was laughing at them because they looked
because they were funny.
I mean, they looked ridiculous. They weren't like funny. They were like ridiculous funny.
Yes, ridiculous funny because nobody. Oh, I don't even know. Were they making chicken noise? I don't even know what noises they were making. But some kind of really stupid noises for their age. You would expect that from a little kid.
Right. So that's what.
Was it chicken noises?
I don't know what they were doing, but it just looked so ridiculous. I couldn't help but laugh. I was laughing at the whole.
Really smile until I realized what was going on, and then I started to walk across towards you. And I think it was Kent who told me, don't talk to her. And I said, but I have to. I've been watching her stuff. I have to make sure she gets it.
Right.
And so I talked to you.
Yeah. But that's all you said. You just kept it at a bare minimum of here's your clothes. And he told you weren't even allowed to hug me. Nobody was even allowed to hug me. I
don't recall. All I know is that I spoke to you about you making sure that I gave you everything that was yours. That's all I remember.
Okay. And then Lene got busy emptying out the pantry and stuff and emptying out the fridge and all that stuff. Because, I had a place to take all my food. I had a refrigerator 20 minutes away, so I was going to take my food. Remember all the food I donated? I don't know if you remember, but I came in because when I left, I brought all the food from Florida, and I donated like boxes and boxes of food. I didn't take all that back. All I took back was the personal items that I had, some of my spices that because I have a peculiar diet, I'm very healthy, so I would, I had my vinegar and things like that. So, okay. So the next...
You donated. I don't know about the food, but I think you were the one that donated the walkie-talkie.
Yes, that they never used.
I saw them using it one day. That's all I saw.
Remember why we donated them?
No.
Because that boy got abducted.
That's right.
And nobody knew what was going on. And that's when Randolph and I were like, what in the world? There's like, this whole place is chaotic. And he did a lot of research to get by those walkie-talkies, and they were a lot of money. They were top of the line, and he bought 6 of them. So when we got there, nobody was using them. Nobody knew where they were. And it was, so I know you don't want to get involved with anybody else. This is between you and me, and so we're just going to leave it at that. But yeah, that was really...
I did see them use it one day.
One day.
I did. I really did. And I was like shocked, but that's how I learned that you donated them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
And do you remember that we were at the morning meeting the morning after the boy got abducted? Because we were staying at my aunt's house, and we drove up, and then, and Kent Hovind has been to my aunt's house for dinner.
Yes.
Okay, and let's go back to where I got kicked out. So when I got kicked out, I packed up my car because I had a vehicle. And I had all this excess stuff, and we packed up a minivan, and Justin drove it over to my aunt's house and unloaded it. And when we got to my aunt's house, he didn't say it.
I don't know who drove. I don't know about a minivan. I just know that you had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I did.
That's all I know.
I did have a car.
Yes.
And then you went with me when I went to Walmart to fill up my tank.
Yes.
Okay, so I had a full tank.
I remember. I drove with you. You drove me around a couple of times. And what's his name drove too? What's his face?
Nye?
Nye.
No, he rode with us.
Yes.
Yeah, he rode with us. Because remember, I would never drive alone with him. I said that was improper for a married Christian woman to drive alone with the car, so I'd always make you tag along.
So I came along. Oh, that was very proper.
And so I filled up my tank, and that was, I think, 1 or 2 nights before I got kicked out, so I had a full tank of gas. Because I know you were there.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, so then the next day when I got kicked out, Justin, so we have several witnesses that my aunt lived 20 miles away. We have 3 people from the property, Kent Hovind himself, Justin, and Nyhop. Well, no, you were never there.
No, I never went to your aunt's house.
Yeah.
But I know that, I heard that Kent went there for dinner.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just talking about 3 people were physically on my aunt's property. Justin, Nyhop, and Kent Hovind. All 3 of them were on my aunt's property. So I had a place to go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to beat it.
You spoke to me about it. You spoke to me, about your aunt, your great aunt, I think she was.
And remember they came to the property to see the gazebo the day that Kent and Mary went somewhere? And my great aunt, or maybe that was before. I think that was before the wedding.
I remember meeting her.
That was.
I remember you talking about her and that she was, she owned a home close by, and I think you visited her. But I didn't go with you, so I don't know. But I know you had I think it was a great aunt.
It was my great aunt and my second cousin. So
yeah, because I never heard the term great aunt. I've always heard
she was my grandma. She was my grandmama's. She was my grandmama's sister.
Oh, that's why she's great. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what it was, to be honest with you. And the first time I ever heard it was from you.
Okay. So
I knew about her and that she lived close by.
So I think that covers the basics. I mean, I think that's all the proof we need right there, because after I left, you and I kept in touch, and we've stayed friends since. And I'm very grateful that you're going to be honest and allowing me to share this so that I can clear my name. And that's why I said I don't want to bring any more drama or talk about anybody else. I just wanted to talk about what happened with me, my personal experience. You're a witness. Theo and Lene are a witness. My husband's a witness. So there's, Nyhop is a witness. So that's like 5 witnesses. And out of the mouth of 2 witnesses, you should be, justified. So I just want to justify and testify against all the lies that are being told against me and clear my name.
I understand. But can I add just a personal comment for your information? After you left, there was a lot of negative comments made about you, and I started to doubt, and because I really didn't know you intimately, really closely, and so people were making negative comments, and I started to doubt if you were a true Christian. To be honest with you, I didn't know because all this commotion.
That's fair.
But after you and I started talking on the phone, and I saw something that you did on the video online where you were preaching the word, and I remember the time that Randolph bought you a new Bible. You're so excited, and after I've gotten to know you better over the phone, I do believe you are a true Christian. There's no doubt in my mind now. But at the time, I didn't know.
Right.
Because I thought everybody who went there was a true Christian. And then I found out that the guy who drove the, what's it called? It moves the dirt. That guy in his
the bulldozer
stayed in the hen house. I found out later that they were not true Christians.
Right.
And then I heard about some people who were coming in as spies, pretending to be Christians, and then one guy wrote an article and called it a compound instead of, we called it a camp, and he called it a compound, speaking against DAL. So I said, oh my goodness, I thought everybody was a Christian, a true Christian. Otherwise, why would you come here? And then I realized that, some people were doing it for the free rent. Some people were doing it for other reasons than learning about the Bible, which was my thing. So when you left, I started to wonder, is she a true Christian or was she not? Because I thought you were. Then with all this commotion, I thought maybe you're not. But once I spoke to you and got to know you better, I saw a couple of videos of you on the internet, talking about the Word of God, and the way you talk, you are a true Christian in my opinion.
Well, bless your heart, and I appreciate that. Sometimes it takes, trials and tribulations to prove yourself, but
you don't get to know somebody, overnight.
Well, I don't know who was talking bad about me, but I know that you, Nyhop, Theo, and Lene remained my friends. And you remember that, Nyhop, we even took him to California to try to get him a California driver's license, but he couldn't because he was here illegally. And that's why he was staying there, because Kent was kind of keeping him hostage. You got no place else to go. Right.
So that he wouldn't cause any problems legally.
Right.
He was off the grid. He was like hiding him in a sense.
Okay. I don't want this video to be too long, but I don't know. I think we hit all the important points. I did have a car. I had a place to go. I had money. Remember, Randolph was sending me money. That's how I was able to buy everything I needed. So Randolph was sending me money.
Yeah, you were spending money.
Yeah, because I had money.
You were spending money. I know that. So it had to come from somewhere, and obviously that was your husband.
Yeah, exactly. And and then, okay, one more thing I want to say. So remember, the night that we arrived, you said that you can't remember what time it was, but
people were awake
and happy to see us.
And somebody tried to put you and Randolph in different quarters.
That was Steve.
Mike spoke up for you guys and said, this is a married couple. They should be together, and we should give them whatever. The men's bunkhouse, I think it was. It was that was empty.
Yeah, it was.
He forced them to put you in there because he said they're a married couple. They should not be separated. That I remember very clearly.
Well, he didn't really force them. He just put his foot down and said,
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. By putting his foot down, he was forcing them because how can you? It doesn't make any sense to separate a married couple.
Right, exactly. And then the next morning, do you remember the next morning was a Sunday morning? And
I don't remember.
Okay.
It was Sunday morning.
Let me finish this up. So the next morning was a Sunday morning, and we went to church. We went to that little church across the country store over in Lenox with Kent and a couple of other people. And then after church, we went out to Chinese.
I don't think I was there.
No, you didn't go. I know you didn't go to Chinese, but I don't remember if you went to church. So the next morning was a Sunday morning. My husband was still on the property because he went with us, and then he left. And see, there's a claim that
he went to go to work.
He left to go to work in Florida. So there's a claim that we got in a fight in the middle of the night, and we caused a commotion and woke up the whole camp.
I did not hear any arguing between you and Randolph. I never witnessed it.
Thank you. So, anyways, so I wanted to clear that up because there's also something being said that we got in a big old fight. We caused all kinds of commotion on the property, and he left in a huff in the middle of the night. He even called.
I did not witness that at all. I was not aware that I didn't even hear comments about it.
Yeah, because it was made up after the fact. It was all this nonsense was made up after the fact. So I just wanted to clarify that, and I think we got to the main points on what's been said against me, and I appreciate you letting me share this because this is my reputation at stake, and
I understand that,
and I do love my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and
I know you're a true Christian, and I know you're telling the truth.
Thank you, hon.
You're like me. You're a very honest person, really, and I love that about you because there are very few people in the world that are like that.
Oh, well, I appreciate you very much, and I thank you for being you've helped me out through a lot of things. We're not going to talk about it right now, but you were really there for me when I really needed a friend, and I will always love you for that.
Oh, I wish I could have done more.
You're fine. You did what the Lord needed you to do to get me through what I needed to get through. But anyways, my great aunt Kurt died a couple years ago. So, yeah, so I don't have a place to go visit anymore. Because we kept going up.
What happened to the house?
Oh, my cousins have it, my second cousins. But we went up there several times after, because you'd already left the property, and we went up there several times, and back in 2017, we actually picked up Nye and brought him over to my aunt's house, but he had to leave the property and meet us down the street by the country store because he was forbidden to have any friendship with us while he was on the property. So since he was forbidden to have, so we had to pick him up at the country store and then drop him off there so that they wouldn't know. But they found out anyways. And now they know. It's no big deal. And I already have a video where I showed the pictures, but I'll pull them out again. Okay, hon, I'm going to go because there's a beautiful day and there's a big festival happening downtown, and I am going to head to the festival, and I love you, and we'll talk soon.
Okay, when are you going to do the taping of my voice?
Oh, I was doing it right now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
No, after you said okay, I started taping in the middle of our conversation because I said I wanted to ask you first. I wanted to ask you first, and then when you said
problem.
And that way we don't have to go.
No problem because I was honest.
Yeah, and then that way we don't have to go through this again.
Okay.
Okay, hon. Okay, nighty-night.
Now let me look for.
Yeah, so, you're going to answer Daniel. Yeah, that, and honestly, okay, that's another question I wanted to ask you. So about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we were talking on the phone, of course, and you had mentioned Daniel, and I said, who's that? And you said, well, he was there with the guitar. And I said, I vaguely remember a guitar. And you started telling me about all these wonderful videos he was making. And you gave me his email. And I was supposed to email him, but I got busy, so I did not email him. Well, honestly, 2 weeks ago, I confirmed I didn't remember him. And I still don't remember him. Even after seeing him.
You don't remember him.
I don't remember him. And even after looking at his videos and stuff, he does not ring a bell. And, he might be all offended that I don't remember him. Was he?
The problem is, unless you have a really a conversation, a one-on-one, you tend not to recognize them even.
Yeah, I don't think
just another face in the crowd.
I didn't spend any time with him, obviously, and I do not remember him. But I told you this 2 weeks ago when you were promoting his videos to me, and I didn't say anything bad about him. I didn't remember him, and that's all I said.
That's correct.
So
you don't remember him. And yet, but because I had many conversations with him, that we became good friends. And of course I remember him. And I think he's a wonderful person. I honestly believe he's a modern day prophet.
Well, I don't know.
This man has a gift.
I have to say,
by the Holy Spirit to help him interpret verses in the Bible like nobody I have ever seen. Except maybe Ken. But Ken is good in creation. This guy's good in end times. He's really fantastic. He's clarified so many things for me. And I still don't know if I believe all of his theories.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about this. Nydia, I don't think she can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about this later because I don't want to put all this.
Okay, you gotta go.
Yeah, well, yeah, I just want to cut off the video. Okay, nighty night. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I'm going to get the pictures. I have them in my other video, but I'm going to get the pictures of Nye Hop on the property. Okay, so this is the 2017, hope you can see it, 2017 photo album. Now this is a picture of Nye at my great aunt's house. And this was in 2017 before he left. All due respect for Nydia, after he left the property. So that's my great aunt in Evergreen, Alabama. And here's some more pictures of Nye. Okay, so here's a picture of my car that I had that was on the property when we were there. That's what I was driving Nydia and Nye around in. And then I want to show you one more thing, that we remained friends with Nye, and this is a picture after he left the property, and this is in Arizona. So, hopefully, okay, I'm not computer savvy. Actually, I just enrolled back into college, and I'm taking some computer classes, so we're going to see if maybe I can do something about my computer skills. Anyways, I did not open this with a prayer because I was in the middle of a conversation with Nydia when this started, and I asked her permission if I could record her answering some questions so that I can clear my name and clarify that Mary Tocoo is a liar, a straight up liar. I have more proof. Theo has more proof where she contradicts herself and where she was character assassinating me with Kent Hovind after Theo and I put out the videos to expose both of them. So now it's time to expose all of them for the heretics they are. The reason we're exposing this is so situations like Mark Stoney and his 6-year-old daughter don't go to this place and allow their daughter to be, well, he didn't allow it. Cindy handed over a 6-year-old girl, to massage Kent Hovind in his underwear. And let me pull up a testimony on that. Okay, this is a testimony from Joanne. It's not a sworn testimony, but this is a testimony. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read the part that says, Kent Hovind said it was just cramps he got, and it was a coincidence that that area is called the love button to sexually arouse men. He made me watch him have a young child, a little girl, rub his inner thigh there, and he had a noticeable arousal as he was wearing red trunks. Earlier, after making me lift and twist impossible tasks, He threatened to kick me out. My back was so hurt I could hardly move. He said, "Sit in my lap, in my hot tub. I will rub your back. I do not think any married pastor or not should ask a woman or child that." Now, on somebody else's video, Mark Stoney admitted on camera that Cindy told him she gave his 6-year-old daughter over to Kent to massage him. What other little girl could Joanne be talking about? And this is the reason Theo and I put the videos out in the first place, so people could heed the warning. The people that stayed there for years, Mark Stoney, Cindy Lincoln, Mary Tocoo was only there for 9 months, but she left because she didn't get her $1 million insurance policy. But when you're there for years, you know that there's pedophiles on the property. You know that Steve is constantly, I mean, the day I got there, when I was going to stay for a few months, on our third visit, it was obvious Steve was on drugs. I mean, you really have to have you have to be the most naive person on the planet to not recognize Steve was on drugs. It is so obvious that that place is just a money-grubbing machine that is very ungodly, unhealthy, and just destroys people. And so shame on Mark Stoney, shame on Cindy Lincoln, shame on Mary Tocoo, shame on Julie and Nick. Oh my gosh, that's such a sad story with Julie and Nick. Getting involved with Steve is really gross. I mean, he's really gross. Like, he smells, he does not look good. He looks very unhealthy, and he always reminded me of a Saint Bernard. Just like a slobbery mess. Anyways, y'all, so let me get my Bible because I want to close this out with a Bible verse, okay? Okay, I want to read you my life verse. I don't know if anybody else there has life verses, but when I first got saved, I was told by a true Christian, God-fearing family that everybody in the family had a life verse. They said, "What's your life verse, Deborah?" And I said, "Well, I don't know." So after reading the Bible several times, I always went back to Job. And this is my life verse that I would like to share with y'all. Job 5:17. "Behold, happy is the man whom God correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. For he maketh sore and bindeth up. He woundeth, and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. Neither thou shalt be afraid of the beasts of the earth, neither shall thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth." Have faith in our Lord, people. We're living in the last days. False prophets are popping up left and right. The wheat are getting separated from the tares. And I think this is a big part of what Dinosaur Adventureland is doing, separating the wheat from the tares. And I'm not the only one who believes that. So be vigilant. Get discernment. Pray for the Holy Ghost to convict you with discernment. How do you think I was able to notice within a few days all the shenanigans and that Dinosaur Adventureland was actually a cult? And now you have all these witnesses coming out after we already warned people. So be very vigilant and pray for discernment because they're everywhere. They're not just in Dinosaur Adventureland. There's churches that we've been to left and right where there are just wolves in sheep's clothing. So anyways, God bless you. We'll see you later. Bye.